Today I'm going to show you why I have gone with long-range lasers on my PvE corvettes and why it might not be as bad of a choice as you might think. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Elite Dangerous with Down to Earth Astronomy. In my recent video where I went over the build on my cucumber, my PvE corvette, a lot of people were very confused about why I've decided to go with long range on my beam lasers. Now if you haven't seen that video, I'll link to it up here in the more info icons. You can go and you can watch that as well. But a lot of people were very confused why I went with long range rather than going with efficient. And that's what I want to try and clarify today. Now, the reason why I think many people are confused about it is because they look at the stats on paper and they say, oh, the efficient lasers do 24% more damage, so obviously it is the better choice over long range if you're looking for pure damage output. But what many people fail to realize is the impact that your damage fall off has on your weapon. And that's what I want to try and show today. Try to hopefully you'll learn and you'll understand this. So to try and illustrate this, I've put up a quick graph here. And here you can see the optimal damage output of a beam laser with either efficient or long range. The reason why this is beam lasers is because they have a damage fall off of 600 meters compared to the 500 meters on burst and pulse lasers. And from my research, it seems like that the damage on the laser is falling linearly from the damage fall off to its maximum range. So a beam laser has a maximum range of 3 kilometers. So as you can see here, the damage is 124%. all the way out to 600 meters, at which point it begins to fall off toward the 300 meter mark, where of course is 0, which is the maximum range of the weapon. Now, on long range weapons, your damage fall off and maximum range is both 6 kilometers. Now, I know that all gimbaled weapons, they have a built-in small aiming jitter. Even though it says 0 degrees, it will still like move around a little bit, meaning that you're not actually going to hit anything beyond, I would say, 4.5 kilometers, at least not reliably. And there will be some damage degradation at that kind of range because you're not going to hit the target for as much time as you otherwise would. But at least I would say I would consider the maximum range to be 4.5 kilometers. But you could potentially do full damage at that range if you could actually hit the target or if the target was big enough. But you can see here, if you compare the two, that if we move out beyond the 1100 meter mark, so 1.1 kilometers, the long range weapons will actually do more damage. And that is this is of course in the optimal case where you're able to keep your lasers on the target at all times, which you should be able to do at like 1500 2 kilometers range. But if you just look at the pure damage that the weapon will be putting out, as soon as you move out beyond 1100 meters, you will do more damage if you use long range rather than efficient. Now, there is of course the argument that I think some people will make in the comments is that, oh, but efficient, they're going to use less power draw, they're going to use less distributed draw. So you're going to be able to have them fire for longer, so you're going to have a better applied damage output. And that is absolutely true if you're in that case where you don't have the powers to keep your beam lasers firing. Now, I use only 1 large and 2 medium beam lasers on my Corvette, meaning that I can easily keep them fed with power from the power distributor that I have, so I can keep them firing constantly. Now, if you're using huge lasers, for instance, now you might have a harder time keeping them powered. So therefore, efficient might be a better choice for you so you can keep them firing longer. So I'm not saying that efficient is a bad choice. I'm saying that it depends on the situation. And if you have the range, if you have the power to keep long range firing, I would definitely consider that. And another thing that I find very useful is, imagine this example here. You're sitting in a hazmat site. You just killed a couple of ships, and you now have your collector limpets out. You're scooping up all those nice engineering materials. And you're sitting there, you're waiting for the limpets to do their thing. You spot another hostile ship in the distance. If you had efficient, there's a good chance you won't be able to engage it. But if you have long range on, you could all the way out to 6 kilometers. You just need to strafe the ships so they become hostile. And you could do that with your long range lasers, and they would then come to you. You could then just stay in the same area where you already have all your engineering materials, kill the ships as they come in, and your limpets will still be around you and begin to pick up whatever materials the new ships have have dropped. So in a situation like that, I feel having the long range to pull in enemies by just engaging them at extreme long range, and then they will come to you because their weapons can't reach you at that kind of range, is also a very good point why long range can be a very good choice. And I have in several occasions find it very useful to be able to reliably take down enemies at 4 kilometers and in that kind of range, at least to take down the last bit of damage, because sometimes if people are at very low health and they begin to boost away, then my multi-cannons won't be able to do enough damage because they also have a damage fall off, and they're not going to be able to hit as long range because the bullets travel time. So therefore I find it efficient to switch over to lasers and then just take people down at range. So there's really no running away when you use long range lasers. So let me know what you guys think. Post in the comments down below, and if you found the video useful or informative, give it a like down below. Remember to subscribe to the channel, and until next time, I'll see you guys in space.